Hey guys, Sicarius Seas. My journey to unlocking the symbolism that I encountered while I was progressing through the degrees of Freemasonry and Knights Templar begins with a gentleman by the name of Sir Francis Bacon. It's a name that most people have heard. Now he was a well-respected, well-educated, well-written, well-spoken gentleman. And most notably, in recent times, he's been associated with William Shakespeare. And in fact, they said that they were one and the same, that Sir Francis had written all of the plays of William Shakespeare. And also that Sir Francis was a part of a spy network, and he encoded a lot of messages within the plays of William Shakespeare. Of course, this is still debated today, but I believe it's true from the research I've done. Now also, he's known as the father of modern day Masonry. They call it speculative Masonry. And he's also known as the founder of the predecessor to Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism. Now, Sir Francis was known as the tutor. And the symbol for the house of Tudor is the rose, the Tudor rose, as you see. And so going back to Rosicrucianism, the symbol of Rosicrucianism is the rosy cross. And you'll notice there's a rose where the cross members meet on the cross. Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's a reference to Sir Francis, since he was the tutor, and the Tudor symbol was a rose. And it's just simply stating that he was the founder of the movement. Now, if you weren't in a secret society, then I suppose you would stop there. But having been in one myself, I know that symbolism can run deep. At least, usually, in my experience, at least threefold. And maybe as you move up, it may go much more than that. So knowing Sir Francis and his background, that he loved a good play on words. He used words to encode messages in the plays. He used ciphers, etc. So I took it a step farther, and I looked at the word rose. And if I rearrange the word rose, I got the word eros. And eros, as we know, is the god of love. And then love resides in the heart. And so I looked again at the rosy cross, and I realized the rose was simply centered where the heart would be of a man hanging on the cross. And so it was saying, Sir Francis was saying that the heart was central to man, was the center, most important thing. But then I took it a step farther. And the word heart, when rearranged, becomes earth. And the light bulb went off, and I realized what he was trying to say in these layers of messages and wordplay was that the earth was center, was central, or better said, was the heart of the universe, or if you prefer, the center of the universe. And I realized that along with the flat earth truth, they were also hiding the secret of the center, the earth being the center of the universe. And I realized that this was reinforced when I became a master mason. And while going through the ceremony, when I first entered the room, I was met with the open points of a compass applied to my breast. And I was told that the most vital parts of man are contained within the points of the compass. And also that the most important tenets of Freemasonry were contained within the points of those compass also. And so it was reinforced to me that the heart was the center. But I also knew in my previous research that it wasn't just the heart, it was referring to the earth. The earth was the center. And that the most important tenets of Freemasonry, essentially the most important lies that they hide, the truths that they hide, and they propagate lies to cover them up. And then as I move into the lodge, at that point, you can look at the picture and see that the altar is not exactly centered. It's skewed more to the top of the picture, which is the east, where the worshipful master would reside. And directly to the bottom of the picture in the west would be where the feet would be. You have to imagine, like the Rosy Cross, a body in the lodge, laying in the lodge, because the lodge, they call it an oblate square. It's more of a rectangle shape. So think of a body laying in the lodge, the head towards the worshipful master at the top of the picture, the feet at the bottom of the picture towards the senior warden, because the senior warden's, one of his attributes is strength, and the feet are strength. And then I came to realize then that the altar, as it's positioned closer to the head, is essentially signifying the heart of the individual if he was laying in the lodge. And knowing what I had already known about Rosicrucianism, I knew that this didn't mean simply the heart of the person, that I was looking at the heart of the universe, the earth. But then within the lodge, I realized that not only had I progressed from the heart of the universe, now I was the center of the earth. The altar was at the center of the earth. And how did I know this? Because all points, when you're on a flat earth, they point to north. And looking at wordplay again of Sir Francis, north, the Old English north, N-O-R-T-H-E, when rearranged, is throne. And so it's signifying that the throne of God is located at the north, above me. So the throne of God is directly above me, looking down while I take my oath. And so this all came to me, trust me, it was in an instant. Now, when you enter the lodge and you've been greeted with the open points of the compass, at that point you represent the sun. And you're guided or conducted around the lodge in a circular movement around the altar, or for me, the center of the earth, much in the same way that the sun would move around the North Pole, or the center of a flat earth. And how do I know that they're talking about or representing a flat earth? Well, as maybe you've heard, that as Masons, we always met on the level. Now, as we know, the Illuminati and Freemasons, etc., all the secret societies, they love to leave symbolism in the open. They want you to see it. I don't know if it's indoctrination or if they just have fun doing this. But one of the most flagrant examples to me as far as flat earth truth, if you take the Masonic symbol, you can take 2 Roman numeral 10s, and I'm not saying X's, and you'll see why in a minute. You can take 2 Roman numeral 10s, place them together so that they touch, and you get the Masonic symbol. Now, most people that believe the earth is flat have come to the conclusion that the way it's set up, it's almost like a timepiece, God's timepiece. Everything's in motion for us to tell time. So keeping that in mind, one of the things that a lot of us wear every day, a watch, many people now look at a watch and they see that as a representative model of a flat earth. And the hour and minute hands representing sun and moon and how they move around a flat earth. Well, remembering the 2 Roman numeral 10s to make the Masonic symbol, in almost every ad that shows a watch, that's selling a watch, in almost every case, the time is set to 10:10. So there it is, in your face, and those kind of ads are everywhere. So look, I appreciate you listening. We'll get into this stuff deeper, and I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.